Imagine you're drowning in deep water. Someone offers you a rope, but it's tied to a contract with conditions, and the longer you hold on, the more it tightens around you. This is how a lot of countries describe their experience with the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. It was created to stabilize economies, but today, some say it's doing the opposite. So, is the IMF saving nations, or silently trapping them? Let's break it down. The IMF was founded in 1944 after World War II at the Bretton Woods Conference. Its goal? To rebuild the global economy and avoid future collapses. Today, it has over 190 member countries, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Each country pays in, based on the size of its economy. That means some countries have more voting power, especially the United States, which holds over 16%. Yep, that's enough to give the U.S. effective veto control. Now, the IMF's main job is to lend money to countries in crisis. But these loans come with strings attached, and that's where things get messy. See, when a country borrows from the IMF, it doesn't just get a bag of money. There's a whole package of what they call structural adjustment programs, basically a bunch of mandatory reforms. These usually include cutting government spending, even on health and education, removing food and fuel subsidies, devaluing the currency, privatizing state businesses, and opening markets to foreign investors. The logic is, reduce deficits, boost efficiency, and make the country more market-friendly. But in reality, these conditions often hurt regular people. Let's look at Ghana. In 2015, Ghana accepted an IMF bailout. To meet the conditions, it removed fuel subsidies and froze public sector wages. Prices shot up, protests broke out, the economy didn't stabilize, and Ghana was back at the IMF's door in 2022. Or take Pakistan. To unlock IMF funds, fuel and electricity prices increased a lot. Inflation skyrocketed. For millions, daily life became unaffordable. Sri Lanka, Zambia, Argentina, the list goes on. They followed the rules, and still they sank deeper into debt. A UNCTAD study found that over 60% of countries that take IMF loans end up needing more loans later. It's a cycle. Borrow, cut services, suffer, borrow again. And who's really benefiting? When the IMF demands privatization, who gets those public assets? Often, foreign companies snap up utilities, electricity, water, telecom, at bargain prices. Local industries get outcompeted, national control fades, essential services get more expensive and less accessible. Meanwhile, the IMF collects interest on its loans and gains outsized influence over domestic policies, without ever being elected. Some experts even call this economic colonialism. Now, supporters argue the IMF prevents total collapse. They say its reforms force governments to be accountable and disciplined. They point out, without oversight, officials might just misuse funds. But critics say the IMF uses the same playbook for wildly different countries. They claim it helps markets, not people. And the pain of austerity always hits the poorest first. Even the IMF admits it's made mistakes. Too much austerity, not enough focus on inequality. The IMF isn't a charity. But it's not evil either. It's a financial institution, with a business model. But when a rescue package demands suffering, when help comes with cuts to food, fuel, and education, I have to ask, is this really help? Or is it control in disguise? The IMF doesn't send armies, but through contracts and conditions it can shape entire nations. In the end, it's not just about money, it's about power. So, if you want to see more breakdowns like this, subscribe to Immerse Union, where I dissect systems, expose structures, and ask the questions others don't.